Big news. Yes, I don't know if you heard. Big news. Trey Lance, reportedly, according to Jeremy Fowler, has gotten private indications, whatever those mean, that he's going to be the starting quarterback this year. How much stock do you put into this report here?
Nothing. I don't know what the hell
Roughly
an
0%?
indication is.
Yeah.
What is an indication?
So okay, so immediate questions that come to mind. One is what is a private indication? Two, if he had gotten a private indication, why would Jeremy Fowler be the first person, the only person who knows? That would be the next
Maybe
one.
he's pally with Jimmy Sexton, who's also Trey Lance's agent.
Maybe.
I don't know. I just felt like that was something that was just reported to be reported. Niners fans have also gotten indications that Trey Lance is going to be the starter this year. So maybe Trey Lance is getting those same indications because Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have only given indications thus far rather than just coming out and saying it. I don't know what consists of an indication. Is it that, Jimmy's hurt, so Trey Lance, you're going to start in this offseason, so that's an indication that he might start through OTAs and everything. I don't know. Garoppolo's still on this roster. I would have preferred the report to be that in spite of Garoppolo being on this roster, Trey Lance has been told that he is 100% the Niners guy moving forward. I like dealing with definitives a little bit more. To me, that's a real report because the Niners have not come out and said yet. And that's a report to me that would actually make a lot of sense. To me, Trey Lance getting indications that he's going to start, well, 3 first-round picks, a third-round pick, that's what they traded up to go get him. Is that not an indication that at some point he's going to be the starting quarterback for the 49ers? I didn't need Jeremy Fowler talking to anybody to get that indication.
Yeah, it seems more like a guess after hearing what they said at the owners' meetings too. But I don't know. It just seems like a private indication is meaningless in the real world. If you're about to get a job, you're about to graduate from college, if you've gotten a private indication from a company that they're going to hire you, but they never sent you an offer letter, would you be telling people in your family, I got this job? They'd be like, no, you didn't get the job, dog. You got nothing. And I want to say from experience, I got private indications many times from the Santa Rosa Press Democrat that they were going to promote me from independent blogger who got no benefits and made about $1,000 to $2,000 a month to full-time journalist on the payroll. It never happened. And I got many private indications. You know what, people?
It happens.
They can always deny it.
Time.
They can always deny it
all the time.
Yeah, things change.
In the draft all the time. How many times do players come out and say, like Jalen Ramsey said it in his recent interview, he got private indications from Dallas that if he was there at 4, done deal. They're taking Jalen Ramsey. They took Ezekiel Elliott.
Here's what's going to happen. John Lynch is going to talk in a week. A week from today, in person, I'll be there. And a fair question, he's a fair guy. I'll say, John, it's been reported by ESPN that Trey Lance has received private indications from the team that he will be the starting quarterback this year. Is that true? What's he going to say? He's going to be like, well, right? Well, we love it. He's not going to answer the question directly.
Here's what he will say. He'll be clever about it. He'll say, yes, we think that's a plan, but Trey knows that he's got to come out and compete and earn that. And we believe 100% that he has the potential to come in and do it, but he has to come out and earn that. Being a starting quarterback in the NFL is a right.
So he's gotten a private indication of that there's going to be a quarterback competition and that he's good enough to win it. That's what you're telling me. Not that he's if he was the starter, there wouldn't be a quarterback competition. So you're telling him that he has the opportunity to compete for his job this year. Great.
I think the idea with the report is they're trying to put it out there that look, hey, no matter what you see, and with Garoppolo still being on this roster, we still 100% believe in Trey Lance, and Trey Lance 100% believes in us, and he knows that we're sticking to the plan, and he's sticking to the plan. But
we're just trying to trick a team into trading for Jimmy Garoppolo, as if teams would only see some reports, but not this one. Privately indicate. Oh, teams don't know that. Teams don't know that. They still think Jimmy's a starter. They're still going to trade a second-round pick for Jimmy.
Indicate is such a weird word because it's so vague. Indicate could mean anything. It could really mean what is an indication. Also, indication is open to interpretation, right? An indication to Trey Lance that he might be the starter might be the installation of a few plays that are specific to his skill set.
That could be that. It could have been a wink and a nod. It could have been a tone in Kyle Shanahan's voice. It could be a glint in his eye. We don't know. But it's a fair, now that it's been reported, it's going to be me or someone else. Probably Matt Mayoko straight off the bat. Hey, it's been reported. What? And I'm sure he's prepared for it. I mean, come on, Jon. We'd love to know what you have to say. Say something. I think he will. Jon's pretty savvy. He knows what the questions are going to be.
Yeah, I think he's going to go to the right. Being a starting quarterback is a right like, out of privilege. I don't know.
They're trying to walk the fence of supporting Trey Lance, but not benching Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Is like keeping Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what they're. Good luck.
That's the vibe I get.
Good luck with that tightrope act. I don't see how you actually pull it off.
I think I keep going back to it as I don't understand it. When you traded up that much to Trey Lance, Garoppolo doesn't really matter anymore. I'm sorry. That's just the nature of the business.
They're not lying, but they're lying to themselves. They keep trying to say, well, we like Jimmy. That's why we haven't traded him yet, because we like him more than the rest of the league. No, you don't. That's why you brought in
traded up that much.
Yeah, you don't. Stop telling people how much you like Jimmy. And we don't believe you.
And I think that I will say that part for me as a fan is a little bit frustrating, because I would love for them to just be definitive. Just come out and say, all right, guys, training wheels are off. Jimmy Garoppolo is gone. We're on the Trey Lance train, and we're going full force ahead. And, that could be their internal thought process. I don't know why there's a fear to say it publicly, because at this point, there's no repercussions. Garoppolo's trade market is what it is.
It feels like if 2019 had started and the Ravens hadn't decided who they wanted to have at quarterback, they're still being like, okay, well, we have Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson. Like, what do we do? That's what it feels like. It's like, when you really, is this even a question?
All these other teams that you want to compare it to, they were basically clean cut, move on and move forward. Like at the beginning of the offseason, they were not dealing with this problem in the middle of April. In fact, in the end of April, we're nearing the end of April, and they still have, Garoppolo just chilling. I mean, he's having a good time. He's going to Hooters. He's living life. Good for him.
Look, man, if Lance stunk in training camp, I would understand it. I would get the Niners being, you know what? We got it wrong. He was terrible. And I've seen people be bad. Like Dante Pettis. When I saw Dante Pettis sort of shy away from contact in a non-contact scrimmage, I was like, I don't think this is going to work. And I pretty much wrote him off right there. I never saw anything from Trey Lance that would say, oh, this is just a deal breaker. And then he improved. He definitely showed enough in his rookie season for you to say, that's a promising young rookie.
Let me ask you this. Compare Trey Lance to Colin Kaepernick's first rookie camp. Who looked more ready, in your opinion?
It's night and day. Colin Kaepernick. Well, okay, so Colin Kaepernick, when he
struggled to take snaps under center. I remember that.
He was 24. He had never taken snaps under center because he was in the Pistols. He was fumbling every day. He was non-functional. Trey Lance was completing big 40, 50-yard throws daily. He was having explosive plays daily. It was nothing like that. And Kaepernick was playing with the backups too. I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just saying. There was no discussion that year of who's better, him or Alex Smith. Right? There was no discussion.
I asked the question because I wanted you to provide a frame of reference on what was the difference between you seeing, right? Between the two times you went to practice. And so that's where, dude, I just don't get it. What is the harm to just say, look, we're all in? You've already indicated. And that's what frustrated me last year too, when they didn't make the state of the franchise about him. They drafted him 3rd overall, traded 3 first-round picks. He's the guy they should be just marketing. They should be throwing everything. The propaganda should be, Trey Lance. They should be shoving Trey Lance content down our throats daily.
Do you understand? People not from around here, but I don't know if you saw it in Chicago, but what they did for Tua in Miami, do you understand? It's all about Tua in Miami. He's the greatest quarterback of all time.
It's a frustration. Let me tell you that. It's a frustration for Bears fans looking at this new regime. And it is, what are you doing to make this all about Justin Fields? Because the offensive line still looks like a problem. The receivers are still a problem. Why aren't you giving Justin Fields the necessary support?
So bad.
People look at Justin Fields as well.
As soon as he got drafted by the Bears, we were like, oh.
Yeah. And people here look at Justin Fields as, oh my God, we might have a quarterback for the first time ever. Because they didn't look at Trubisky really that way. Some Bears fans did, but there was always a little bit of a reluctance with Trubisky because they viewed everybody watched college football here, and people saw Deshaun Watson as kind of the superstar. And not every fan in other places, just because their organization drafts somebody, they're all in on that guy. Some of these people are, especially here, are exceptionally sometimes even to a fault, independent thinking and and get so wrapped up and angry. And they're all in on Justin Fields, and that's where like they're upset about it. And I don't think it needs to be in terms of the moves you make. I don't even think there should be, but I don't see what the problem is not in not being able to just publicly say he's our guy, he's the starter this offseason. We're all in. We're coming in. We're just going in with him. It's not doesn't change much, but it makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
it would make a lot of people feel a lot. Yeah.
last year they were definitive that it was Jimmy Garoppolo's team. Like they made the trade and they're like, look, we just want to make this clear. The first time they had a press conference, they're like, this is still Jimmy's team.
Post draft, right? Because the
Right.
Kyle Shanahan
This is
pre-draft
still
presser
Jimmy's
was
team. Right. And they made that clear. And they, because for the sake of, unity in the locker room and having one direction, and it was important for them last year. Well, it's still important. I mean, you have to do that for one of your quarterbacks eventually. And if you're going to keep the mystery going, I think you're doing a disservice to your team.
they're
But
trying to keep a mystery going that's not really a mystery, but they're the only ones that don't seem to say it. Everybody else is like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Trey Lance is going to start for this team. Yeah, we're pretty sure. You don't trade that much up. And then the Niners are out here saying, well, hey, Trey, wink, wink. You got a good chance of starting next year.
say it with your chest. John, you have an opportunity in 7 days to name Trey Lance your starting quarterback. Do it. He won't, though, because they could have at the owners' meetings and they didn't. So what has changed since then? Nothing. Exactly what you said.
Him still being on the roster, like, again, Alex Smith Mahomes, if you want to compare to that ship has sailed so far because Alex Smith was off the Chiefs in January. They went and won the Sammy Watkins sweepstakes in March, and they were basically telling everybody that, oh, Patrick Mahomes is a superstar, right? I remember every media member seemed to know that the best kept secret, like his week one performance, people were blown away by it. But I remember the media members in tune and like with insight were all like, yeah, this is what they've been telling us every camp practice. Like this guy is different. And
Yes.
Niners don't necessarily need to go that far, but they also could just say, yeah, we're all in. We have this guy. We traded up for him. I think we all think that you traded up for him because you're all in on him. You could literally just say, look.
Yeah, like a private indication relayed through Jeremy Fowler is not good enough. John, you got to figure out what you're going to say in a week to the media that's going to be better than that. Because it's not just for like you, it's for the team. It's for what's best for the team. There are no other contenders in the NFL who are messing around with the quarterback position or keeping the mystery going this late in the year. Is there another team that I'm unaware of that's an actual contender that's like, we don't know per se who are
No. There's nobody. Everybody knows who their QB is, and I think the Niners probably do know who their QB is, but I don't see why you can't say it if you know.
Yeah.
Like look at Miami, right? I mean, Jim Harbaugh did it for Alex Smith when he came in 2011. Yeah. He was like, no, Alex Smith's my quarterback. Alex Smith's my guy. I think Alex Smith's fantastic, and they just went on. That was who they were going.
From his perspective, the vote of confidence meant so much. Like, you know what Alex Smith needs? He needs a coach to have his back. And I think to a degree, he was right. And you know how
Mike McDaniel is doing that right now for Tua.
And you know how Harbaugh knew that bit of psychology insight? Because he was a quarterback for the Bears. For the Bears.
And people want to compare Shanahan to Belichick, but if you go back and look, Belichick early in Brady's career gave Brady the ultimate vote of confidence many times, and it was shown through actions, right? Like he stuck with him after Bledsoe won the AFC Championship game because Brady was hurt, and he played. And was it Dave's? Yeah, AFC Championship game. Bledsoe beat Pittsburgh, right?
Yes, that's true.
And then he stuck with Brady. He gave Brady the opportunity to go win that game when John Madden said, "Oh, I don't know if I'd put the ball in Brady's hands." He stuck with Brady after Bledsoe's original injury. The moment that offseason hit, he didn't care where he traded Bledsoe. He sent him to the Bills and division rival. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So I don't think it is that situation at all because the Niners continue to – I mean, they don't make a single public definitive statement about this, and I think it's annoying because your statement was already made by trading 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance. You can't hedge your bets now. Say you're all in. Say this is our starting quarterback. This is not – I don't know what the benefit of when everybody knows what it is with Trey Lance, that you're going to say,
Yeah.
well, he could be the starter. Well, we're not just going to trade a good quarterback away and Garoppolo, blah, 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 blah. He could come back for us. I don't understand. What do you think you're gaining? You think Carolina is going to be also, oh, shoot, they might keep Garoppolo. Crap. We got to get Garoppolo.
Let's trade a first round pick
Garoppolo
for
that
him.
way.
Can we trade the sixth? Let's trade the sixth. Let's trade the sixth pick overall. Let's trade number 6. Like, that's not going to happen.
Garoppolo that way. Carolina would be like, oh, crap. Niners want to keep Garoppolo. They're stupid. Hey, Cleveland, how's Baker Mayfield doing?
Hey, can we trade for Trey? I'm just saying. How long before that happens? Yeah, all right. Ninth Wonder Comics says Niners were happy to overpay Jimmy Garoppolo, but dragging their feet on paying Debo. Made Jimmy Garoppolo starter after 5 games, but won't publicly commit to Trey. Yeah. It's a bad look, Niners. It's a bad look.
I think the Garoppolo situation is a little bit different because he was an impending free agent.
True.
But them paying him after 5 games set a different type of precedent for this regime. Again, different contract because he was the quarterback, but he was the highest paid player in the NFL.
Yes, he was. No trade clause.
He got his deal.
6-year deal. Willie Mendoza says, I don't care what anyone out of the organization says at this point. I'll take any rumor as false rumor until Kyle Lynch make it official. Hey, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's not like anyone else has corroborated what Jeremy Fowler said. He won't even say what a private indication is. They have 7 days to say something publicly. And I think
it's open to interpretation, right? Like one reporter can be like, yo, Jeremy, I didn't get a private indication. Well, they sent me this. Well, they sent me the same exact text. You got an indication from that? Oh, shit. Yeah. Did I read that wrong?
Oh, I thought you said you got a wink and a nod. I thought you said you got a wink and a nod. That's an indication. If you get the wink without the nod, it's not an indication, but the wink and the nod, I mean, that's classic indication.
It's like writing essays in English class. Like we used to all cite the same quotes because in my senior year of high school, we weren't allowed to have the book with us when we would have to write our essays. So we'd all memorize like the same 3 or 4 quotes that the teacher talked about earlier in the class. We'd be like, that's meaningful. And we would all write about the same quote. And some of us would have totally different
symbolism
essays.
Here?
And sometimes, like, the quote wouldn't even fit our thesis, but we had to shove that quote in anyway. Oh, you got that indication?
The rhyme scheme? Oh, the meter? Ninth Wonder Comics says, I bet Kyle and Jon are horrible poker players. Well, Jon especially, man. Jon is always going up to his ear. We already know this.
Hey, guys. I have a royal flush. But I'm not gonna go all in. I'm gonna bet low. Oh shoot, you want to bet with me?
I'm slow playing it. Are you sure you want it? You sure you want? Because I'm just saying, you haven't heard it from me, but I probably have a full house.
Yeah, I got a full house. I'm gonna tell you guys I have a full house, but I'm not gonna tell you that I'm going all in. So you might think I don't have the full house, and
right.
like so you might want to bet me all in.
Michael says, if anyone thinks the Niners had Trey Lance as the quarterback they traded up for, you're nuts. They traded to get the best quarterback available at 3 in a deep quarterback class. That just so happens to be Trey. They settled. Well, who did they think? It seemed to me that Kyle has a direct line to Robert Saleh. If he thought the Jets weren't going to take Zach Wilson, like, did Saleh lie to him, or does Kyle not know him as well? I mean, what do the Niners think? Did they think they were going to get Zach Wilson? And is that even better?
I mean, I do think that at some point in the draft process, they did love Zach Wilson, but I also think they realized that the Jets probably looked at Zach Wilson the same way they did. Now, they might have traded up to 3, and they might have been totally upfront with the situation. They might have traded up to 3 with the right to study Fields, Lance, and Jones more. I do think it came down to Lance and Jones, but they traded up to 3 ultimately to get a quarterback. And whether they landed at Trey or whether they traded up for Trey is kind of moot because that's who they took. That's their guy. And when you give up that much for a quarterback, that has to be your guy. And everybody knows it's your guy. So why won't you just freaking publicly say he's your guy?
The idea of trading 3 first-round picks plus a third for a position in the draft, like a slot.
No, it's not.
Not even
stupid.
A player.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
It's super stupid.
You only trade up for a player, actually. Yeah. Trading up for the right to draft somebody is
that much
questionable.
No, you can't do
it's questionable in terms of how you're valuing things.
Yeah, Sean says Joe Montana and Dan Marino took time to get started. All the rookie quarterbacks last year did nothing except Jones.
Yeah,
they're on bad team.
19. Joe, didn't Dan Marino throw for 5,000 yards and take the Dolphins to the Super Bowl in his second year?
Yeah, Dan Marino was pretty good.
Also, he threw for 5,000 yards in the middle of 1980. Like, what are we doing here? And then, all the rookie quarterbacks did nothing except Jones. Well, what are the veteran quarterbacks going to do in Jacksonville and in Chicago? And with the Jets last year, those teams are horrible.
Dan Marino started 9 games as a rookie, and his quarterback rating was 96. That was 1983. So that
that's
was
like
me.
having a
And then he threw
quarterback
for
rating of
5,000
110.
yards when he was 23. He was all
League
pro 3 years
MVP.
in a row. He was the MVP
And
in
I
his
tweeted this
second
out. I tweeted
season.
this out in the middle of the season. Grant, let's have this conversation right now.
Yeah.
How good are the Jacksonville Jaguars last year if Jimmy Garoppolo is their quarterback instead of Trevor Lawrence? Or is Jimmy
Worse.
Garoppolo lighting the league up?
No, what would have happened is he would have got, I'm sorry, but he would have got hurt. And then people being like, well, we don't know. We don't know how good it would have been. You remember when Nick Foles went to the Jaguars and everyone's like, well, they got a leader and he got hurt week 1 and it was over.
Yeah.
Or like when Ryan
Against the
Fitzpatrick
Chiefs.
went to Washington and he got hurt week 1 and it was over.
Yeah.
That's what it would have been like. I'm guessing that's what would have happened.
Okay.
And if Jimmy ever gets an opportunity to play for another team, that's sort of what I'm expecting.
My point is this is apples and oranges, right? Because
yes,
like if you put a lot of these veteran quarterbacks, like how bad was Andy Dalton? I mean, okay, maybe you want to say Andy Dalton's bad, but a lot of these veteran quarterbacks, unless you're going to talk like the Mahomes and the Josh Allens and the Joe Burrows, Lamar Jacksons, if you're not going to talk about the best quarterbacks in the NFL, a lot of these veteran, middling, starter, mediocre quarterbacks are going to go and they're going to be horrible for the Jets, and they're going to be horrible for the Jaguars, and they're going to be horrible for the Bears. So what does that say? And a lot of them would have been okay for the Patriots, and Mac Jones was pretty good. So he's maybe a little better than the middling guys. And a lot of them would have been excellent for the 49ers. Or it depends. What do you view as Garoppolo's players? What do you view as excellent? Good? What do you give me a word to describe Garoppolo's play?
Serviceable. When healthy.
Serviceable. A lot of these veteran middling quarterbacks would have been serviceable on the 49ers. It wasn't as much that Trevor Lawrence was a rookie, though, he did not play well, or Zach Wilson, though they technically did not play well. It was also that they were surrounded by, can I cuss?
Go for it. Yeah.
They were surrounded by shit.
Yes, I agree. And I think just Trevor Lawrence is better than serviceable in terms of talent. You put him on the Niners.
Yeah. So was Zach Wilson. Better. So was Justin Fields.
Yes. And that's why I to finish it up, to wrap a bow on this Trey Lance thing, I don't understand why the Niners are so apprehensive. It's like, do you understand? Look at how far you went twice with Jimmy Garoppolo. How could Trey Lance be worse? How? I've seen them in person on the same practice field in the same training camp. He's not worse. Just have some guts, please. I don't know what it is. Kyle's just very traditional and conservative and apprehensive. But I think trust yourself. I don't know. But he's talking that way at the owners' meetings. Like, well, we're trying to trade Jimmy for a reason. All right, great. Michael says they traded up for Wilson after Wilson Pro Day, literally the same day Jets came out after the Niners trade that they wanted Wilson. The Niners settled on a quarterback. It's the only thing that makes sense. Play the kid.
Play the kid. That's it. That last part is all that matters.
I was thinking that the 49ers, like Kyle and Salas, spoke at Zach Wilson's Pro Day and was like, Kyle's like, so you're going to take him?
No, Kyle didn't go, right? It was Adam.
Someone
there, yeah.
Someone was like, hey, you going to take him? And Salah was probably like,
I mean, they had to have indication because people had been mocking Zach Wilson to the Jets for
private indication. Yeah. That's the word of the day. Private indication.
I mean, Joe Douglas is also really, really connected with all these media guys, which is why they keep telling everybody Joe Douglas is really smart. They do it for all the guys from Philly. They do it for all of them. Just notice, whoever, like Daniel Jeremiah, these guys, they know him, and they'll hype him up as Joe Douglas is really smart. I mean, we'll see if he's a good GM. I don't know. But, they all seem to know. They all seem to have the quote-unquote private indication that Zach Wilson was going
to. Chris says top 5-10 quarterbacks could have some success.
Yeah, and Jacksonville, yeah, those are the only people. Like the really, really special guys, which we don't know if Lawrence, Fields, Wilson, even Lance, if any of those guys are going to be those really, really special guys yet. But don't come at me saying, the other rookie quarterbacks struggled when these middling, mediocre starters were going to go wet the bed there too.
Question for next week. Would you rather have a good quarterback, a very good quarterback, and the best supporting cast in the league, or the best quarterback in the league and a very good supporting cast? What would you rather have?
So the supporting cast is very good for the best quarterback.
Yes,
I'll take the best quarterback with I'll take the best quarterback with the very good supporting cast.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Anyway, it's an interesting thing to think about. Lawrence says draft. They liked all three better than Jimmy Garbage. Man, but did they like them? Did they like all three that much with three first-round picks in the third? You like the Deshaun Watson level? I guess. Anyway.
I mean, yeah.
That's our show for today. We were trying to keep it light because there's not a lot going on. We don't want to, create controversy where it's not there because people are getting mad at me saying it's my fault. People are mad at Debo. I promise it's not my fault. That I'm on Debo's side here. Pay him. A private indication.
Yeah. Somebody tweeted at me saying the people sending racist tweets to Debo are your and Grant's fans. And I told him, I responded to him because I thought I shouldn't have responded to him in the first place, but I responded saying I don't have fans. So that was the end of that conversation.
Second of all, pay Debo. And on that note.
No, but I that one's actually kind of shocking to me. I don't know if I have fans. I'm not going to come out and be very, very entitled about it by saying, oh, I have fans. They believe in sit for every word I say. But I don't know if I do, but I think that you and I have been as much pro player as anybody, any two people that do a show and talk about this in terms of being players get their money. I think that you and I have been probably as outspoken as anyone.
As the idea that I'm like the voice of the disgruntled fan that doesn't do any analysis and
you're the exact opposite. The disgruntled fan hates you.
Yeah, they hate me. Michael Hamilton says Debo is doing best thing for him as he should. Loyalty does not exist. Only business decisions. Guaranteed money is all that matters. Public. These are my fans. The ones that get it.
This is it.
The ones that get it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand what. I feel you, Michael. Go Debo.
Public. Exactly. Thank you. That's the exact feeling I have too about it.
Great show.
Summed it up.
Thank you, Damien. Thank you, Vish. We back next week. You know how we do. Same time, same place.
Same time, same place.
About to have some draft picks to talk about too. It's about to ratchet up. And next week we'll know what's up with Debo. I mean, the drama. Theoretically.
No, well, I mean, next week we'll get his presser. We'll still probably have 17 million questions, but hopefully, there will be some interesting questions about how John Lynch has spent his Easter and how John Lynch has been, managing himself, and hopefully he's doing okay. And that's the questions we'll get, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm being very sarcastic. I'm being a jerk. I apologize, but
he made it through Easter Mass without kicking anyone off the team or the.
No. I apologize. That was sarcastic. That was uncalled for. But I'm hoping we get maybe some questions that force John Lynch to have to answer and explain some of these.
I'll do the best I can. I think we shall, because I mean, there's not that many. Here's the thing: usually you go there and it's a million different questions about what they could do in round one. Not this year. Now all the questions are going to be like, well, you do have a draft, but we have other business to sort of take care of.
John, I hope someone asks, I hope Kyle shows up and someone goes, John, do you think Garoppolo will be on this team after the draft? And Kyle goes, I cannot guarantee anybody will even be alive.
Hell yeah. He should just have like a button he can press that says it for him.